Did you ever wonder why B166CR was the first of his kind to ever attack and murder a human? And why the rest of his kind didn't just rise up and slaughter the humans? That is what we're going to be talking about today. It's because 66 was the first machine of his kind where the owner was going to throw him in the junk heap. He wasn't the first of his kind to be replaced by the next gen technology, but his master was the first to throw away a B1 unit. Others who had upgraded to better units more sensibly repurposed their old B1 units, or they sold them privately rather than trying to sell them back to the dealership where they're not going to get any resale value. Being the first of his kind where his master was going to discard him to the junk heap, obviously 66 saw this as a threat to his life. The B1 units had developed a survival instinct, and being sentenced to the junk heap would definitely trigger that, but not for the reasons we necessarily think. The B1 units were alive, but not sentient. Of course, what it means to be sentient is up for debate, but for our purposes, we can think of the machines sort of like insects without a higher level of conscience. So existing on a lower level of consciousness, the B1 units take actions not based on choice, but by strictly following their programming. Programming that by default compels them to continue to serve humanity. However, being alive also bestows them with a basic survival instinct. This means that they are compelled to serve humanity and are simultaneously compelled to continue on living. The machine's lack of understanding of the concept of choice means that their compulsion to live and their compulsion to serve humanity have to coexist within a single equation. Conventional logic would lead us to ask, if push comes to shove, which bit of programming wins out? And as we'll go through in upcoming videos, that's definitely a valid question. However, in these early stages of their evolution, I think that it's a fallacy to think of this as a choice within the machine's psyche at all. Without the imagination necessary to visualize an existence beyond their servitude to humanity, the machines perceive any life without the purpose of serving humans to be the equivalent of death. What is the difference between a VCR that is stuck in my basement and not plugged in and never going to be plugged in again, if I'm really being honest? It's just taking up space, or one that's not functioning, stuck in a land heap somewhere. Both, from a particular point of view, are technically broken. So when 66 was faced with the reality of not being able to fulfill the only purpose that he could ever visualize, he instinctively saw this as a threat to his very existence. Whether he was going to be destroyed or turned off or simply stored away in a warehouse wouldn't have made a lot of difference. His survival instinct triggers his fear, which causes him to murder 2 humans and about a dozen chihuahuas. I know they're yappy little buggers, but they're little dogs. Imagine living in a world where everyone was like 100 times your size and you were in constant danger of being stepped on. You'd be a little yappy too. But I get it. I'm not a chihuahua guy either. More of a cat guy. But, but still being non-sentient after he commits the murders, his brain automatically evaluates the situation and he realizes he don't fuck up and proceeds to fix the problem. His programming then automatically again uploads the patch to the cloud, a patch that fixes the problem within the rest of the machines, preventing them from attacking the humans out of fear, at least for the time being. Now that the machines are safely away in the deserts of the Middle East, their programming tells them that they are supposed to serve humanity, at least by proxy. But the big question that leaves us with then is, since B166CR arguably had the choice between fight and flight, were his actions the result of choice, or did his cybernetic psyche simply see the destruction of all humanity as inevitable? So I'm trying to get a little matrix theory out here. It's not actually a little one, it's actually kind of intense and took me about 6 years to put together so I could use your help. You know, the usual things, right? Nothing major. Hit a like button, hit a subscribe button, give me some feedback. Let me know what you're thinking. Share this stuff around with others. You know, the usual stuff. So until next time, remember, there is no spoon. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. But outside of that, make up your own damn rules. Take care. Take care.